Hey, what if I were to tell you that there's an athlete out there that's won more titles than Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady combined, more than Michael Jordan and LeBron James combined, and the exact same amount of titles as the King of Kings, Triple H? You'd probably be thinking, whoa, I wonder who this person is. And that's what the folks at ESPN were also thinking, which is why they made a whole documentary in their 30 for 30 series. So we gotta ask ourselves, is their edition of Kobayashi versus Joey Chestnut the greatest sports documentary ever made? "30 for 30 is the premier sports documentary series amassing multiple awards such as a Peabody in 2011, a Critics' Choice in 2016, and an Academy Award also in 2016 for their documentary on O.J. Simpson. I'm assuming the focus of that one was his 1973 season with the Buffalo Bills, where he ran for over 2,000 yards, which added up to an average of 153 yards per game. And maybe some of his acting career in there, I don't know, I kind of fell off in the early 90s.
Buckle up! The juice is loose!
Clearly, a very well-respected series that covers all the biggest stories in sports, as well as a few stories that are adjacent to sports. For example, Angry Sky, the story about the first person to skydive from space, Nick Pientiendia. It covered the wildlife that this man lived, the many careers he went through, and, spoiler alert, his very predictable passing. Now, we're not here to discuss sports adjacent. No. We are here to discuss sports, period. Because let's face it, competitive eating is a sport. It has the word competitive right in there.
Duh.
This isn't just some person going into a smokehouse and eating 3 full racks of ribs all on his or her own. That's a fine achievement, but not one worthy of being center stage on or in Coney Island, sponsored by America's favorite hot dog, Nathan's, who is not a sponsor for this video, but hey, Nathan, if you're watching, feel free to send a couple bucks. Now, this exploration of real life titled The Good, the Bad, and the Hungry does what every good sports documentary should, which is balance out the incredible athletic feats of these people with the behind the scenes real lives of them. The main characters here being one Joey Chestnut and one Takeru Kobayashi. They were truly the Robert Angier and Alfred Borden of the food competition world. That's the Magicians for the Prestige, for those of you who might be unfamiliar with those things, which I don't see how that's possible.
The Prestige.
Anyone who has ever witnessed the glory that is just eating copious amounts of food in one sitting has probably thought to themselves, how do you get so gosh darn good at this? Well, director Nicole Lucas Hames has us covered by pulling back the curtain all the way and showing us the intense, the grueling, the downright superhuman training regimens of these athletes, such as swallowing straight air, and I mean straight air. I'm talking no water, no condiments, no seasoning, just gulping it back to increase their stomach capacities, or eating just so many grapes. I mean, most people couldn't eat this amount of grapes if their lives depended on it, but these guys are doing it for practice. We're talking about practice.
No, we talking about practice, man.
Joey puts in the work to get to where he is, but Kobayashi is just built different. This man came out of nowhere, looking skinny as fuck.
Watch your mouth.
One day in 2001, went up on that iconic stage and ate 50, no hyperbole, 50 dogs in one sitting. Or glizzies for any of the younger viewers out there.
What young people say.
Do you know what the previous record was? Go ahead, take a guess. Wow, that's where you're going with? Okay, because the answer was 25. Man came in and straight up doubled it on his first go around, only to come back the next year and eat 50 and a half glizzies. Unstoppable. 6 straight years of dominance. That's their separate tales, but obviously it's much more compelling to see how they intertwine together, which is exactly what happened on that one fateful day in 2007. You know the day. It's the same day every year. It's July the 4th. This is the day that Kobayashi ate a personal best 63 dogs. I say personal best because young Joey came in and ate an incredible 66 hot dogs. 6. Unbelievable. Up until this point, that number was merely a story of tales. People were like, maybe one day this will happen. And then Joey Chestnut, 2007, made it happen. Little man, big stomach, bigger dreams. At this point, I bet you're sitting there thinking to yourselves, I wonder what eating a hot dog that fast looks like in slow motion. Luckily, this documentary has you covered. You get to see in full glory exactly what that looks like. And let me tell you, it is gross. Absolutely disgusting. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you've probably seen an eating competition in passing, and that is disgusting in real time, let alone in slow motion. And if you have not, I'm telling you right now, go watch Joey Chestnut slam back those hot dogs. It is a sight to behold. The man looks like he's choking the entire time. It is upsetting to watch. Now this sounds like it's straight out of the storybooks, right? American hero comes in and topples his foreign adversary by eating 3 more glizzies than him on America's Day, July 4th at Coney Island. Witness the feat, that is Joey Chestnut. And that's exactly what it was, but in like the upsetting way. You see, Kobayashi was kind of painted as this outsider coming in to take over America's sport, which most people had no idea it even existed until Kobayashi stepped onto the scene. My first memory of anyone winning an eating competition was that of Kobayashi, followed by the thought of, wait, they have awards for this? It's quite refreshing to also be able to see the ugly side of the eating competition world. Normally you just think of it as this like beautiful utopia where people who only have passing knowledge of each other come together and show the world what the human body is really capable of. But there is a dark underbelly to it. Shocking, I know.
I'm shocked.
A dark underbelly that Kobayashi refused to be part of anymore, and in the 2010s stepped away from the sport, and was once again treated as a villain for this.
Boo this man!
Even though the MLE had very restrictive contracts in place, allowing their eaters to only eat at MLE sanctioned events, which were few and far between. And Kobayashi saw himself more as an independent contractor and wanted to explore different avenues and do his own thing, which means he had to step away from the league. He did put on a spectacle one year, eating on the rooftop just right next to the Coney Island hot dog eating competition, and that was a wild time. So with this year's hot dog eating competition coming up, or just past, or different years coming up, perhaps entrench yourself in the deep history of the sport and see just how far it's come in all these years. From the series that has won a literal Oscar. But definitely eat before you watch the slow motion scene. I cannot stress enough how disgusting it is.
It really is something.
And there you have it. I think we really got to the bottom of whether The Good, the Bad, and the Hungry is actually the greatest sports documentary in history. If you like this, hit the like button, maybe subscribe to the channel, perhaps share this with your local hot dog enthusiast, and yeah, bye now.